Hey everybody, I am coming making this video message to tell you vengeance belongs to the Lord. In Romans chapter 12, verse 19 through 21, God is telling us, I'm paraphrasing now, but God is telling us, I shall repay and vengeance is mine. God is telling us, do not avenge ourselves. God is telling us that we should not give any place to wrath. God is also telling us, when you go further down in that scripture, that if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If your enemy is thirsty, give him something to drink. For in doing so, you shall reap hot coals over his head. And God is also saying that in the place of evil, you don't repay evil, you repay good. Now listen, I'm going to keep it real with you all. It is very difficult to be obedient to this and to follow this, because when there are people who are rising up against you and they are speaking against you and they are slandering you, they are lying on you, or they have inflicted some type of hurt, harm, or danger against you, a lot of you all, you can really get with them in that department, and you can really seriously hurt some people, whether it's verbally or physically or lawfully in a courtroom, from things they have done and said to you. But I want you all to understand that when God is telling us vengeance belongs to him, he is basically telling us we don't have the might, we don't really have the knowledge, and we don't have the strength to pay back our enemies and wrongdoers at the level that he does. He is telling us, he broke it down in Romans chapter 12, telling us we are not supposed to avenge ourselves. Now, let me break avenge and revenge down. When you avenge yourselves, that just means when you go out and you pay back somebody with the hopes of getting justice for whatever they did wrong to you. So let's just say you had somebody come to your house and they broke in it and stole some things, or they broke into your garage and they stole your car, or someone, you put your purse or your bag down at work and someone went in your locker and they stole your wallet, they stole your credit cards, they did things like that. You could take that person to court, and in a court of law, you can press charges against them, and you can set it up to where they pay you money back, okay? Or to avenge yourself, you may say, well, this person cussed me out and they said wrong to me. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna check them, I'm gonna correct them, and I'm going to put them in their place. And with revenge, revenge is when you want to inflict hurt or harm or some level of pain on people who have rose up against you, but you're not thinking about getting justice. You are not putting a level at what type of recompense you're giving to those wrongdoers or those enemies. So those are the differences. But whatever the case, whether you set out to get avenge, or whether you set out to get revenge, God is telling us we are really not supposed to give in to either one of those. He is saying that all of that belongs to him. Let me explain something to you all. When you are not in the presence of someone, God knows exactly what they are saying against you when your back is turned. He knows what they're saying about you to other people. He knows what they're texting or even emailing other people concerning you. God is watching, and he sees people who hate you or people who are your enemies. He sees those who gather to come up against you. I told you all before that when there are groups of people who come together to take you down, you are a powerful man or woman, because freestanding by yourself when you minding your business and out here living your life, and you have people in the background, or you have people in the cut that want to punish you, or they want to come against you, and they have to get 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 other people to side with them to say, you know what, this is why I don't like her, this is why I don't like him, this is why I don't respect her, this is why I don't respect him. Look, here's the evidence and the receipts to prove this is why I'm justified in doing and saying what I'm doing and saying to her. Here are the receipts and the evidence to prove why I'm doing and saying what I'm doing and saying to him. Okay? But even in that, you all gotta know that God is watching every single thing that people are doing or saying or plotting, planning, and scheming wrong against you. And ultimately, even secretly, what people are thinking that is negative, that is bad, and that is evil towards you. God knows the inner workings of every single person's heart. But you gotta believe, and you gotta know, and you gotta trust, and you need to fall back, and you need to calm yourself down and just simply let God be God. I also know, and I'm gonna keep it real again, I know that sometimes we feel like God is taking his sweet time in paying back our wrongdoers and our enemies. I know sometimes we feel like, you know what, God didn't do anything to this person. I prayed, I fasted, I humbled myself. I waited for God to do what he was going to do to this person that did what they did to me at work. I fasted, I prayed, I humbled myself, and I waited for God to handle this particular person at church that did and said what they did to me. I humbled myself, I fasted, I prayed, I trusted, and I waited for God to come through and show up for me when these people put their hands on me, when these people lied on me in court, when these people slandered me, and I lost money, I lost my place, I lost my job. I lost almost my mind. I lost my friendship. I lost my man. I lost my girl. I lost my wife. There are so many of you right now because of what your enemies or people who hate you have done to you. You are completely drained and you are so over trying to be nice, trying to be civil, trying to be the bigger person, trying to be holy, trying to be positive, trying to be loving. You're over it because you have sat back for so long and you looking at God like, God, where are you? Why are you taking so long? You know what, God? I'm not trying to get ahead of you, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you, sir, but I'm not going to keep sitting back waiting for you to show up. Now, I'm about to go, and I'm about to get my payback for all the people who have done wrong to me. I don't really want to be like this, God, but I have to be like this because they keep playing with me. I know how y'all feel because I've been there. I'm there now with a particular person who keeps trying to cut up with me. And they've lied and they've slandered my name horribly. There are some of you, even witches. They have prayed prayers against you. They have gotten a hold of your photo. They have prayed prayers over your photo. They have spoke things against you in your life because they want you devoured. They want you ripped apart. Every single positive, every single issue or every single thing that can possibly go wrong in your life, they want it to happen to you. If they can set it up to where you are left with nothing, if they can set it up to where you have completely been depleted of anything, if they had it their way, that is what they want for you in your life. It's real out here. But I'm going to let you all know, In this time, place, and season, you have to again let God be God. Let God handle your enemies, because a lot of times when you are in these situations and you are finding yourself with your hands tied and you want to get payback for the people who have done you wrong and spoken against you, you sometimes feel like if I don't do anything, they are going to keep doing stuff to me and I have to put my foot down. Now, I feel like this. There is a case by case basis in certain situations, because if you have an enemy that is physically coming up on you, or they are in your way and they're trying to cause hurt, harm, or danger to your family, in that case, you do have the right to defend yourself. You don't sit back and let anybody harm your children or harm you or your family. But I'm more so talking about those of you, you may have lost a job because someone told a lie on you. You may have lost a friend, or a relationship that you had with a man or a woman broke apart because someone lied, or your marriage is damaged to a certain extent and it's tension between you and your spouse because someone told a lie. It could have been a friend, well, a fake friend. It could have been a family member. It could have been a jealous, hating neighbor. Whatever it was, all I'm telling you guys is now this is going to be the time where more humility has to take place with you. Because, see, to sit back and chill and be calm and to be humble and allow God to deal with your enemies, that takes a certain level of emotional intelligence. It takes a certain level of patience, and it takes a whole lot of humility. A lot of times our ego does get in the way because we are human and we are imperfect. And sometimes we are not always walking in the spirit. And so our ego gets in the way and we want to go and deal with the people who are doing wrong to us. So there is no judgment there as far as you being tempted, or as far as you really feeling like you are justified in going out and getting vengeance. But as you read the book of Romans, in that particular chapter, I want you to understand, and I want you, for once in your life, if you have never tried God and trusted God, when it comes to where you are in this season, now is the time for you to fall back. It is the time, because we are still in judgment season, and we are also in a season of blessings, and we are also in a season of testing. All three of those things simultaneously are going on. So when God is handing out judgment, if he's coming down your street or your lane or your neighborhood, you don't want to be in that line. You don't want to be in that number when he brings the hammer down on you. This is why he is telling you vengeance belongs to him. Another dimension and another level of your humility, it's going to come when you are not putting a time stamp, or when you personally feel God should go and get your enemies. You don't sit back and say, you're taking too long, God. Now I'm going to get involved. I'm going to jump ahead of you because I'm still seeing my enemy at work. I'm still seeing my enemy at church. I'm still seeing my enemy in my neighborhood. I'm still seeing my enemy in my family. And they're still smiling. They still cocky. They still flamboyant. They still talking crazy to me. They still doing certain stuff. God, what's up? Where are you? If we are all honest, I truthfully believe that each one of us have been at that place. Some of you all may be at that place right now. But all I'm telling you all, and I speak through the Spirit when I tell you, you have to let God be God. This is not your battle now, because a lot of stuff is happening and a lot of stuff has been released by the enemy in this season. I have made a series of videos explaining these things to you all. People are setting you up. Enemies are gathering together to try to take you down. People are slandering you. People are filing false documentation to try to get you arrested, or to try to get your child taken from you, or to try to make you lose your place where you stayed at. The enemy is real busy doing a lot of this. He is releasing attacks on marriages. He is releasing attacks on friendships. He is trying to release so many different things so you can put yourself in a position where you not only walk away on God, but you put yourself in a position where you can lose what God has for you. And there is a major setback and a delay. So this is why God is telling you, let me handle it, son. Let me handle it, daughter. God is always going to have our best interests at heart. God is never going to set us up to fail. He's never going to set us up to fail. And so while it is very challenging for you to sit back and allow God to deal with your enemies, it is always better for the will of God to go forward and transpire in your life. And so while you are seeing things unfold and play out, all you can do is you pray. God also in Romans chapter 12 is telling us to pray for our enemies. We are supposed to be praying. When you just read that entire book, God is telling us to pray for our enemies. And I'm not gonna lie, back then I used to say, this is the silliest thing I have ever heard. Why would I pray for my enemies? Why would I go into God's presence and waste my time, waste my energy, and pollute my spirit praying for someone that I know hates me, praying for someone that wants me dead, praying for someone that wants every bad thing possible to go on with me? Why would I spend time praying for them? But I'm gonna let you know a revelation that came to me a while back. The revelation that came to me is that when you have an enemy and an enemy is mistreating you and they are plotting and planning and scheming against you, a lot of times those are the main ones that really need to be loved. They need more love. They need more grace. They need more mercy, because inside of them and inside their heart, they are filled with bitterness. They are filled with rage. They don't love themselves a lot of the time. They are battling a heavy demonic spirit of unforgiveness, jealousy, envy, insecurity. And you all got to understand that when somebody is fighting the spirit of insecurity, the spirit of jealousy, they have a spirit of inadequacy, and they don't feel loved, or they have not really over the course of their life received a lot of love or genuine love, or people have rejected them, people have turned their backs on them, people have pushed them to the side like they are not important. These people sometimes will turn evil. That is a very deep revelation that came to me maybe a couple of years ago, and it continues to come to my spirit because I always try to understand why I'm sorry guys, it's really loud out. I always try to understand why people do the things that they do. And when I've come across really evil, sinister people, I go to God and ask God, why is this person like this, Lord? Why is this person doing this? It's unbelievable, because sometimes it gets confusing, because you'll be like, let me go and play back if I've ever done or said something wrong to this particular person or these particular people. Have you all ever been at that place where you sitting back and you like, they are really cutting up with me? They have literally caused everybody at work to hate me. They have caused my own family to hate me and go against me. How many of you all have experienced this? I know I can't be the only one. You will sit back and be like, wait a minute, why am I having this battle in court? I have never done anything to this particular person, but they are really cutting up with me. And the judges believe in them, attorneys are believing them, my kid is believing them, co-workers are believing them, church members are believing them. You will go into a rage inside if someone has told a vicious lie on you to somebody in the cloth. I'm going to tell you, if they told the first lady or the pastor something that you so-called did or said, and you see the man and woman of God believe that, when I tell you all the level of anger that rises up in you, I can't even really describe it. But if you can relate to this video message, all I'm telling you is that you are not alone in feeling the way that you feel. You don't have to be ashamed. You don't have to be embarrassed. You don't have to hold your head down. God knows how you feel, and God knows what you are capable of doing. I'ma just say it. Some of you all, you are capable of cutting up 10 times worse than what you see your enemies doing. And you know what? Some of you all also, you have evidence. You have dirt on your enemies or wrongdoers. You have proof. You have receipts. And you have the plain truth. See, that's the thing here that you all need to open up your mind and spirit and understand. With enemies, a lot of times, they create false narratives to go against you. They lie and make up things to make a lot of people hate you and reject you and leave you alone. But you can sit back and you can look at a particular enemy and you know the truth about them. You know things that can damage them and cause them to lose their job, cause them to lose their apartment or their house, cause them to lose a man or a woman or friends in their life. You may have dirt on your enemies that can cause them to go to jail for a very long time. You know what you're capable of, and God in heaven knows what you're capable of too. But I'm going to tell you, there is no revenge. There's no payback like the revenge and the avenging and the payback coming straight from heaven. Because God created all of us, the earth, the world, and everything in it, including us, belongs to Him. You don't take authority from God. You don't get ahead of God and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. God, you taking too long. I'm done waiting on you. No, 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 no. Even though you know you could, check yourself. I say that in love, especially in this season. You got to let God do what He's going to do. And sometimes He will allow you to sit back to see what goes on with your enemies. It's not for you to gloat, because the Word of God tells us you don't gloat in the misfortunes of others lest He take it off them and place it on you. That's an actual scripture. It's not for you to gloat. It's not for you to laugh at them. Okay? You need to be praying for your enemies. You need to chill. You need to rest. You need to relax. Because let me tell you something else. It takes energy to be mean and evil. It takes energy to plot, plan, and scheme against someone. You could just chill and be like, all right, I'm not going to put my energy and time in this. I'm going to let God do it. You may cry. You may have been humiliated because they blasted you on Facebook. They put up video footage of you in a vulnerable moment. They put up a picture of you. They told lies. And it's a lot of people not talking to you. They don't trust you. They looking at you upside your head. You lost that job that you loved. You got family that don't want nothing to do with you because it was one witch in a family, or it was one person, or it was a group of people who gathered against you. And now it's like people hate you, all from what an enemy said or did. And sometimes, guys, if you have outside people who believe an enemy over you or a group of people over you and they never ask you any questions and they cut you off without telling you why they cut you off, in actuality, they did you a favor. Because anybody that loves you for real, whether they in a relationship with you or a friendship, anybody that knows you and your character for real, the minute, the second, and the moment they hear something about you, they will confront you about it. They would ask your side of the story. See, I'm not mad anymore with fake friends or family members and people that don't come to me and ask me questions. They just start acting funny when they feel something got out about me, or a rumor or a lie was told on me. I don't get mad anymore when they cut me off, or they don't want to be around me, or they speak negatively against me. I don't get mad about it because that reveals to me who they are. Sometimes people will take any little bit of information to justify why they don't like you because initially they didn't have a reason to not like you. But they heard a little thing about you, or some enemies gathered and they told them, girl, look what he did, look what she did, look what she said, look what he said. And immediately they believe what they were told, because they already had an insecurity or a jealousy issue with you, but they knew it wasn't justified. They knew you hadn't done anything to them. So they're using the rumor to say, oh, this why I don't like her or him. All I'm telling you guys is, again, in this season and for the rest of your life, when people gather against you, when people slander you, if there are people who are doing witchcraft against you, let God get these people back, because I'm telling you, he will definitely pay them back and he will get them back. And whether he lets you know or not what he did, it doesn't matter. You continue to move forward. You be graceful, you extend mercy, and you pray for your enemies. That's the video message. Well, guys, it's time for me to go because I have some other things to do. The Lord willing, I will be back with another video message. If any one of you have been offended by anything I spoke about in this video message, it's okay. It's all right. I am not worried about it. I am not concerned, because I know you will forgive me in the morning.